job where you can grow a lucrative career in multi-platform audio, digital, podcast, social media, and local events, along with world-class training and career growth opportunities. KBLA Talk 1580, located in historic Leimert Park, is currently hiring entry-level account executives for outside sales. Join a team featuring radio hosts Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornell West, Jesse Jackson Jr., D.L. Hughley, Dr. Nee Cordelai Corte, Zoe Williams, and our very own Dominique DePrima. For more information on attending our upcoming career fair, contact SMB at KBLA1580.com today.
Work, 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 work.
The smell of your perfume. I thought I was immune. Looking around this room, can't help but see the traces of you. This moment is surreal. I can't put into words how I feel. Twin, where have you been? Nobody knows me like you do. Nobody gon' love me quite like you. Can't even deny it every time I try it. One look in my eyes, you know I'm lying.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome in. I hope you're twinning with me on these good vibes on this cold Los Angeles evening. And you're ready to get into some upbeat news and a little sneak peek at some coming soon information. It's Jill Munroe. Thank you for checking in to KBLA Talk 1580 for your entertainment news update. I hope that you were chilled out and relaxed. Shout out to Money Long, still buzzing out there. So tonight we are diving into Magic Johnson's latest moves. Magic is known as much for his entrepreneurship and business sense as he is for his obviously legendary time with the Los Angeles Lakers, Showtime era and all those things. So he is one of, well, there's several, but he looks like he's being awarded some funds to help rebuild Altadena. So we're going to get into that. We're going to look into, as we've had conversations about Snoop and others over the weeks and representation and what does that look like and should we be listening to celebrities? Are we still okay when they get involved with things? At this point in the time, Andy's looking like, what? Of course we are. But some people are saying we shouldn't be following celebrities. We should be looking at our educators, our politicians, our, community leaders, and not celebrities to help dictate where our future is going. We're going to get into that. Andy?
I understand that. I agree. We probably should be looking towards our teachers and, police officers and all that. But, celebrities, they have a certain influence that, a teacher doesn't have.
They do.
So, if they're out there in the community, helping out, folks who've went through some sort of natural disaster, I'm game for it. Am I expecting it, though? Am I like, oh, you need to be there? No. But if they're out there doing their thing, salute.
Well, we're going to get into that because that is the question of the night, one of them at least. And coming up, we have an interview. There is a new soap opera coming to CBS, and it is the first Black-led soap opera in 35 years. Remember, NBC had Generations, and that ended in 1991. It's called Beyond the Gates, and it's going to be debuting February 24th. And the series, let me give you a little synopsis so you know what we're warming up for. It is set in Fairmont Crest, which is a posh gated community in the Maryland suburb near Washington, D.C. So that means the potential for political drama, scandal, all of that. And this area is known as one of the most affluent African-American counties in the United States. So at the heart of this narrative is the Dupree family, and they are considered Black royalty. So we're going to get into that, and we have one of the stars of the series, Jibre Hordges, and we're going to be talking to him. So I'm excited about that because, listen, CBS is the home of Drusilla, Young and the Restless, Malcolm, Olivia, all of that. We know that storyline had us in a chokehold in the 90s. Following that, of course, I have a special place in my heart for soap operas, especially those that involve Black characters. You take it back to All My Children. Debbie Morgan as Angie and Jesse, their storyline was pivotal and actually bolstered ratings for All My Children. Another example of diversity saving the day. But that's a conversation for another day that we will get into. But I'm excited to talk to Jibre and get this scoop on that. So I hope you guys are ready, laid back, ready with your opinions. If at any point during this conversation, as always, you want to call in and talk to us, 800-920-1580, or hop in the YouTube chat. It's always bustling and going on. People are in there already sharing. Forrest Harrison has a strong opinion. He says using Black people to save their network. How about including them in? And it's something we want to see, but we can get into that too. We're going to get into all of that and more on the other side. We have Jibre coming up, so stay locked in.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
They can do anything they want to us. We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips, and I am a revolutionary.
On Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's Black Panther Party Breakfast at gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-9651.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-550-9651. That's 800-550-9651.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from Nitsa and the Ad Council.
Now back to more entertainment news with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back into KBLA Talk 1580. You're here with Jill Munroe. So we are about to get into the next generation of Black soaps. There's already a lot of opinions in the chat about this, but You know, I'm excited to see what we're looking forward to, and also to see how soaps play in the streaming era, because you get to watch them when you want now. So, on the line, I'm excited to announce actor Jibre Hordges. Welcome to KBLA Talk 1580. How are you this evening?
Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you are here. So, first of all, I feel like I'm mispronouncing your last name. Please pronounce your last name properly for me.
So it's pronounced Hordges.
Hordges, thank you so much. So, tell me a little bit about the character that you're going to be playing in Beyond the Gates.
So I play Jacob Hawthorne. He's a robbery homicide detective for the DC Metro Police Department. And he's also married to the Dupree granddaughter, who is Naomi Hamilton Hawthorne. So he's a stand-up guy. He's a great guy. He's loyal to the badge, but he's also very loyal to his wife and her family. So I love my character. I really do.
So I saw the teaser, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of scandal, a lot of juice jumping off. You know, you said that he's a good guy, but there's a lot of personalities from the clip that I've seen briefly in the Dupree family. So, you know, might Jacob be involved in a scandal or two? Might we be saying something like that?
Well, it's definitely a lot of drama. I will say that. Definitely a lot of drama that goes down. And anything that kind of goes too far definitely will come across Jacob's desk. But, because he's loyal to the badge, he does what he needs to do to make sure, he keeps the peace within the community. But, it's a struggle that he deals with because if anything that happens with his wife's family, he has to choose, that loyalty between, family and the badge. So that's the struggle that he deals with. But it'll be exciting. It'll be fun.
It's going to be tempting. I get it. So tell me about the process to land this role. Tell us a little bit about your history and how you got to this point.
So I've been in the game for a minute. I've been at this thing for 10 years. So I definitely put a lot of work in, along my process. But, when I got this audition and I read the breakdown and I knew what the project was going to be about, I immediately got excited. I knew this was going to be the one. I knew I could immediately connect to the character and connect to the project. So I was excited for it. I feel like in today's time, you don't see a lot of projects on the airways that represent, people of color in a positive way. I think it's a lot of, projects that show a lot of negativity, and they don't, shine a good light on people of color. So, when projects like these come up, they have to be pushed to the forefront. So, I'm definitely, I love CBS and the NAACP for what they're doing to put this project on the forefront. So I'm excited for it.
So I forgot to mention that the NAACP is part of the production in this. It's led by the showrunner, Sheila Ducksworth, and she has a lengthy resume as well and lots of projects that we love. One of the things that is exciting about this is that there are veterans in the TV game that are involved in this, as well as up-and-comers. It's a good mix. What is it like to work with people like Clifton Davis, Tamara Tooney, that have been in the industry for a while, along with yourself that you've been in the mix for a minute, but you're still working your way through?
Oh, for sure. It's everything. It means a lot, just to have them be in our atmosphere and to be there to kind of show us the ropes. It's amazing. Everybody brings their expertise to the table, but, to watch those veterans do what they do and to, take as much insight as we can from them because, they're gracious and generous enough to give us tips along the way, because a lot of us don't come from a soap background and for a lot of us, this is our first soap, including myself. So any type of insight and tips we can get from them, it means everything. So, to have them at our ship is, we're in great hands for sure.
What is it like for you as an actor? You mentioned that this is your first soap. So what is the difference working on a soap versus working on a regular TV production or a film?
I'll say the pacing for sure, and the technicalities as well. Where to stand, how to move, where to open yourself up to, knowing where your camera is, because it's multi-camera. We film with about 4 cameras. So, that's why we only do takes maybe once or twice, and then we keep it moving. On film and TV, you tend to do a take maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, but in soaps, you sometimes might do it once or twice and you keep it moving because everybody's coverage is pretty much getting shot at the same time. So, having to adjust to the pace was a lot. It took, we kind of struggled a little bit at first, but, now we're kind of hitting our stride. And also the lingo, the language, the technicalities, upstage and downstage and things like that. It was a lot, but the process is fun, and we're adjusting nicely.
So it's going to be on 5 days a week. What type of adjustments did you have to make in your life? Did you have to move for the role, or were you lucky enough that it's being shot in the city where you currently live?
Yeah, that was a blessing in itself. A lot of people had to kind of, move coming from a lot of places, LA, New York, Dallas, to kind of, set up shop here in Atlanta. But me being born and raised here, I was fortunate that the show films right here. It's about 40 miles from me, which isn't the closest, but it's still home. It's still right here in the city I was born in. So, that's fortunate enough. And yeah, it's full time. I'm a series regular on the show. We film Monday through Friday. So yeah, this is everything is focused on Beyond the Gates. It consumes my life now, and I couldn't be happier.
So what is it like for you being able to shoot something like this, something that is, monumental in your hometown, not too far from where you grew up? You were a biology major in college, so certainly a tad different from being an actor on a network soap opera now. How did you make the switch?
Oh man, it's crazy. So yeah, I never once thought I would ever be an actor in my entire life until I turned 22. I always thought I would be a doctor. That was my goal. I wanted to be a radiologist, so I went to Georgia Southern University to major in biology. I wanted to be a radiologist, like I said, but the MCAT, the test that you have to take to get into med school, is extremely, extremely difficult. That was kind of like a roadblock that I wasn't really able to get around. So my life took a complete turn, and God restructured, my vision, and, I came across acting. So I've been doing that for the past 10 years of my life, and I found it's a newfound passion, and now I love it. So yeah, it was a bit of a switch, a peculiar way of how I got into acting, but here I am, and I thank God for it.
What do you think was your role, like the pivotal role where you felt like up until this point, you know what, I'm comfortable. This is where I want to lock in and stay?
Honestly, from the very beginning, when I first started and I was doing extra work, I knew that this was it for me. It's hard to explain, but I caught the acting bug very early on when I first started at 22, and ever since I was an extra, I said, yeah, this is it for me. So I spent the next 10 years of my life dedicating myself to the craft and figuring out how to navigate myself through the industry. And I was fortunate to land a series regular role on the CBS daytime soap opera. I mean, that's every actor's dream, So, I'm very humble, and I just thank God for it, like I said.
So what is one piece of advice you would give to other actors that are out there working, putting in the grind, waiting for a break such as this?
I would tell them to keep going. First of all, you have to ask yourself, do you really want it? Because, acting isn't for the weak. If you don't want it bad enough, you're going to get weeded out. We hear a lot of no's. That's just kind of like the nature of the game. We hear 1,000 no's just for that one yes. That makes it all satisfying and gratifying. But, you have to ask yourself, do you want it? And if you want it, you have to dedicate yourself to the craft, and you have to put in the time, put in the work. And you can't give up. Like I said, if you want it bad enough, you're not going to give up, and you're going to keep going until you make it happen. So that's what I would tell people, because that's what I did. I didn't give up, no matter who told me I couldn't do it, or, whatever roadblocks or obstacles were in my way, I made it happen. So I would tell people just to keep going and don't give up.
And so what is one piece of advice you would give to someone that is stepping into a soap opera environment as far as acting goes?
Oh man, stepping into a soap environment is I would say, be flexible. It's a lot of moving parts. Like I said earlier, a lot of technical aspects to filming a soap opera and multicam. A lot of people, there's over 200 people in the crew. So I would say just be flexible, have an open mind, be ready to learn, be ready to have fun, and just give it all you got.
That's amazing. So you mentioned a bit about representation and that this show has a lot of positive images. in an environment where reality TV is sort of dominated for the last 15 to 20 years, how do you balance positive imagery with the drama that the audience certainly craves?
I think Beyond the Gates does great with that mixture, right? Because you're always going to have drama. You're never going to avoid drama. But when you can mix drama with love and wealth, it kind of it sets an atmosphere that people want to see. Like I said earlier, it's a lot of projects that it's a lot of drama. You're always going to find drama, especially with people of color, but it's not always necessarily grouped with, success and positivity. So Montcrest, it's a wealthy, affluent neighborhood, with people of color, and that in itself is kind of rare to see in today's time. So for us to showcase it on the national stage, on a major network television, is everything. So that's why I was great. It was satisfying to sign on to this project, to say the least. I'm grateful for what Sheila did.
And lastly, what has been the experience of working on a project alongside the NAACP? I think with this generation, we aren't as familiar with what they do and how they can affect us as people of color. And so I think being involved with the production is a start of a way to touch a different generation. But what has that experience been like for you?
I know it's been great. The NAACP is always around behind the scenes, advocating for people of color. So for them to partner with CBS, which is a major network, and to showcase this on a national stage and put it on TV means a lot because, millions of people watch TV every single day. So if we can, control the airwaves and kind of push that content to people each and every day, it's everything, because what entertains you trains you. So, if you're entertaining yourself, looking at Black affluence and Black wealth and positivity, and you let that train you, it begins to kind of shape the minds of people in the younger generation that can turn on the TV and see people who look like them represented in a positive light. And I think that's important for us to portray.
Amazing. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to pop in with us and give us the scoop on the show. Can you please let our listeners know where they can find you on social media? And they'll be sure to be tuned in on February 24th.
Yes, definitely. So you can follow me on Instagram at Jibre Hordges, so at JIBREHORDGES, and also follow Beyond the Gate CBS on Instagram as well.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on the show. We will be locking in. Have an amazing rest of your evening.
Thank you, Jill. I appreciate you for having me.
Thank you. So thank you to Jibre calling in. There's lots of comments in the chat. Pretty Brown Mimi noted some of the cast and mentioned that because someone asked about the previous Black-led soap opera, which was Generations, which was on NBC. Vivica Fox was one of the stars that came out of that soap. She also mentioned, I would have loved to see this soap on primetime instead of daytime, but the trailers I've seen, it's going to be a fire show. I think, I think that I understand wanting to see that, but think about this. In prime time, it would be one show a week. With this, it's 5 shows a week. And there's a lot more cast members, a lot more story that you can get into when you are with a soap opera. The Way We Do It TV says, you can't control what you don't own. Create shows and own your trademark. It took me 10 years to own my sketch comedy show, The Way We Do It, but I got it done. Well, this is Black owned. And, listen, we have things that are outside of the system and we have some that are inside of the system. I don't think that we should be trying to throw away either one. I think they work in tandem and there are places and, room for both, basically. Andy?
Shout out to DJ Black. I just wanted to say there is DVR, so don't even trip.
There is DVR, but it's also going to be available on Paramount streaming, so you can check it out, which is one of the things I mentioned. I'm excited because in the streaming era, with soaps, if you missed it, you missed it. If you didn't have a VCR ready, set up, you better not record over somebody's soaps. You better have the timer set when it was back in the day when it was VCR. And then later, what DVR, yeah, which we still have, which, took a lot of the things out of it. But it's different now. You can make your own appointment TV and set it up as such. So hopefully we will run it up so we will continue to see more and see these actors and other projects and things that spring from this. So when we come forward, we're going to get into Magic Johnson. And it's not just Magic alone. It is a group that Governor Gavin Newsom put together. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. It is heavily entertainment based. So obviously, as Andy mentioned, entertainment has influence. But with what we are seeing from some of our stars, and granted, Magic would never do the things that we see some of these others are doing. But is it time to re-examine our relationship with celebrity and philanthropy? We're going to get into that on the other side. You are locked in with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. News, traffic, and sports up next.
I get in my feelings this way. I knew it was rare. 'Cause before you I never did care. Don't know what I would do if I had to go on without you. Twin, where have you been? Nobody knows me like you do. Nobody gon' love me quite like you. Can't even deny it every time I try it. One look in my eyes, you know I'm lying. Body too hot, skin I'm never gon' get us. Never gon' love like this again.
You're in the know with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The White House says Trump's order freezing federal aid remains in full effect despite rescinding a related memo. A judge temporarily paused the order on Tuesday. A federal judge is allowing a lawsuit over Confederate school names in Virginia to proceed. The NAACP sued the Shenandoah County School Board after it reinstated the original names of Stonewall Jackson High and Ashby Lee Elementary. The judge ruled the renaming may violate the First and 14th Amendment. Black-owned companies are urging consumers not to boycott Target over its decision to end DEI programs, saying it would hurt their brands more than the retailer. Target aims to feature 500-plus Black-owned brands by 2022, but has not commented on the boycott. And Thursday's iHeartRadio Fire Aid Benefit Concert in Inglewood supports Los Angeles wildfire recovery. Tickets are $99 with all proceeds aiding relief and prevention. Visit fireaidla.org for details. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Agora Hills, 101 southbound, still a mess away from Canaan Road. You remain on the brakes in stretches all the way into downtown Los Angeles. Also tough is the 10 eastbound out of Santa Monica, with delays from 20th Street all the way to the 5 in Boyle Heights. Slowing on the 210 eastbound delays Pasadena from Mountain all the way into about Azusa. A little crowded after that. Very slow moving still as you roll through Corona. 15 southbound from the 91 freeway to Wyrick Road.
Lowe's knows that with job site delivery as soon as same day, you can get what you need without losing valuable time. They help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes for same-day delivery. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers will be without Anthony Davis for at least a week. An MRI exam Wednesday morning revealed AD has a strained abdominal muscle. He suffered the injury in the first quarter of the Lakers' loss Tuesday night at Philadelphia. AD will miss the next 3 games. During the Lakers' recent 4-game winning streak, AD was averaging 32 points, 15 rebounds, and shooting 58%. More troubling news for the Lakers. Head coach J.J. Redick drew criticism for playing Bronny James Tuesday night in Philly. Bronny's performance reinforced opinions that LeBron's son is not yet ready for NBA competition. In 15 minutes against the Sixers, Bronny missed all 5 of his shots and committed 3 turnovers. In 13 games with the Lakers, Bronny is shooting 1 for 16 and 0 for 7 on 3-pointers. The Lakers need to keep Bronny in the G League the rest of the season. He will not get any better sitting on the Lakers bench. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, y'all, come on.
At KBLA Talk 1580, We fight the power every day.
Yeah! Gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey!
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Wake up, 8 cup, get your suck in my makeup, face, get your bake up, fake bluff, fake tough, up, put your 6 up, but princess, rates up, jigs up, put your up, get your up, put your sticks up, they suck, that's tough, pay up, get your rates up, but princess. But bullshit me, she freaky, kinda liga, style llama, dochi, cooler than a fan, but she get hotter than a sauna. Take a trip out to Japan and I tsunami her vagina, wanna donna, Benihana. I'm the new hip hop Madonna, I'm the new hip hop Madonna, I'm the trap great Jones. I don't know what type of crack they own. I'm like Carrie Bradshaw with a back brace on. I've been carrying you not for way too long. I'm a black, purple, stack chips, smoker. All beef gets smoked. I'm a real fly, doing coach. I'm a real
welcome in KBLA Talk 1580. Doechii better go off. Come on, Doechii. I don't know if you guys rocked out to Doechii's Tiny Jess, or if you've checked out, I think is it an EP or is it a full album that she recently dropped? All I know is it's fire. Check out Doechii. Check out her Tiny Desk performance. She brings it. I love what she brings. I love her creativity. I love the fact that it's all original, even though she talks about some of the same topics that we talk about, but she brings them in a different and unique way. Her voice is independent.
The new Missy Elliott?
I could see that. I could see that very much so. You know, I watched an interview with her where she talked about her creative process and how she likes to be in the studio by herself. She doesn't want anyone in there while she's in her creative mode so that they, you know, don't mess with her. She doesn't let people like hear any of it, and that, you know, initially it was some little problems with her label because of the way that she worked. Shout out to TDE. But they worked it out. Oh, well, no, I guess her and Kendrick don't have a song together. I was like, could we see Doechii at this? No. But, I mean, maybe. I wouldn't mind. She's a great performer. I love her visuals. So let's get into this Magic Johnson story, right? Shout out to Magic, always and forever. Magic is my de facto favorite NBA player. You know, it's him and Kobe, right? So there it is. But Governor Gavin Newsom has tabbed Magic along with Dodgers chairman Mark Walters and the 2028 Olympics organizer Casey Wasserman. Let me slow down. And, you know, Casey has been around in the industry for quite some time, several projects, agent, all of the things, right? And so they are leading an effort to support the California wildfire recovery. And so it is a philanthropic organization, LA Rises, and there are other business leaders involved. And so there's $100 million that's being committed, and Magic has taken on the task of leading the effort to rebuild Altadena. And obviously we know that is where generations and generations of Black families were able to first move there during when there was redlining and things of that nature and all of the things. And it's an established community, and it has basically been decimated by these fires. And so, of course, we've seen Magic turn lots of things around. We know what he did for Starbucks in urban areas. We know that he brought movie theaters to areas that were once considered undesirable for a lot of theater chains. Fatburger, Fridays, you know, all of the things. Ownership of sports leagues. And he has, I believe he has a startup where they, a VC fund as well. So Magic has always been about the community and involved. Not so great at coaching. We don't know about GM stuff. I love Magic, but I'm just saying. But the question has to be asked as we are going through this period of questioning our celebrities and how they vote and where they stand, and is it okay to just like them for their talent and look away? And obviously Magic does not fit into this particular bucket, but look away from some of the things. Can we or should we continue moving forward with celebrity-led initiatives in times of challenge or, you know, school systems, things of that nature? We've seen some of the biggest stories that we have seen have been around celebrity-led schools that have started, charter schools and that nature. And so I think we're at an interesting point with celebrity and social media as well as when you couple that in with responsibility conscious actions. Because we say we're looking for leaders, celebrities shouldn't be leaders, but in some capacity, we always look to them. And when I'm not necessarily speaking of the community, I'm talking about overall, to lead these efforts, Black or white or whatever. And is that the smart thing to do, considering where we are currently? Shannon Thompson says Magic needs to bring back Midsummer Nights. He does, Shannon. That is kind of, you know, a side note. Pretty Brown Mimi says, I love that Magic and other high-profile people stepped up. We're living in tumultuous political climate, and the president only wants to release funds based on conditions. This is true, and we do need people to, private equity, private industry, to weigh in and to contribute to these things. But just where do we draw the line? Is it based on our opinion of them? Because our opinions seem to be shifting every day. Again, Magic aside, Magic is not the illustration of some of these negative things, and I'm not implying as such, but just overall, how do we feel about it? Because we also turn on a dime. Because if you think about it, Snoop has saved a lot of kids with his football program, sent kids to college, helped them get to college, some that never thought that they would ever see the inside of a university. He sent kids to the NFL. He has helped families. And we're going to talk a little bit about Snoop because Snoop is losing some followers on Instagram. But where are we at as far as celebrity and help and involvement? When we really need it, it's okay? Is it really based on who it is with our fickleness as far as fandom these days and turning on a dime? Andy, you look like you have something to say.
I just think we put too much value on celebrity, period. And, you know, whatever expectations we have of them, I mean, look at yourself in the mirror and go outside and go do something. As opposed to, man, I'm waiting for one of these celebrities to, you know, lead us into, you know, I don't know, lead us into something good. And I just feel like we just put too much.
But I think so too. But do you also think, I think also the expectation that a celebrity, because we've enjoyed their art, do you think that they have the responsibility to? I don't either, but I think it is an interesting question because, of course, without the fans, where are they, right? Someone to share and enjoy their art. But it's not like it is a one-sided relationship or interaction. You know, they give you their work and what they're passionate about.
That's it.
You receive it back and are entertained by it or not. And that is the agreed upon exchange. And somewhere, because again, the popular person, the sought after celebrity, high profile, anywhere in history, obviously those people and their opinions and views, and there's an interest in their life and what goes on. But it feels like over the past 15 years, the idea of what a celebrity is and what their responsibility should be as far as their fans has shifted rapidly. And I feel that sometimes even some of the celebrities that speak out on causes, sometimes it doesn't feel like they're really ready to, or that they're fully educated, but they feel like they have to speak and be involved and say something or risk the wrath of social media responding unfavorably to them, and, you know, they get canceled for staying out of the fray. It's an interesting juxtaposition because the audience is relentless. And it's kind of, what do you do at this point?
I can respect a celebrity for, even if they're not maybe educated on a topic, but they feel compelled to say something, and because they recognize their influence, I'm not mad at them for maybe wanting to state their opinion, right or wrong.
But do you care when they distance themselves from those same things?
They're human, so I don't. Once again, you have the right to change or to evolve. So that once again goes on us putting the value on the celebrity too much. And yeah, they may have one stance, and then we hold them to that. But, you know, people change, people grow, you know, people evolve. You know, you could think one way yesterday, and then the next day, you know, you
get some new information.
You get some new information, and it changed. D.L. Hewley did it. You know what I'm saying? He apologized. So, yeah, we got to lessen the value that we put on celebrities. Shout out to Charles Barkley. You know, he stated it years ago.
A role model.
Respect to that. I think we put too much emphasis. Parents need to step up, and you need to talk to your kids and be like, yo, I know you're watching your favorite dude or whatever on TV, but we talking today. You going to listen to me. We going to have discussions about what's going on in the world.
But as you just mentioned, the influence of a celebrity is more than that at times of a teacher or someone that's right there.
Yeah.
And how can we bolster up that side, or at least get a little bit more equal footing? Because as we go further into the social media era, and we've seen more regular people become celebrities because of the influencer thing and so forth, that is a goal for people. I was thinking about going back to school to get, you know, an advanced degree, and I was talking with the department chair, and they were telling me how communications, specifically, you know, those wanting to be a YouTuber or a social media influencer, the communications school was like impacted because of that. Not a waste of time. Why do you say that?
Journalism is dying.
It is dying. It is dying. But they're not there to be journalists. They are there, partially their interest is in becoming a social media influencer and making money that way. So as we see more of the regular person become a celebrity, celebrity and the meaning of it, I feel, has changed greatly. And even though we say, oh, we shouldn't hold as much value, we're still clinging to the idea of it and attracted to it.
Okay, there's levels to celebrity.
There are, very much so.
Just because you're a social media influencer does not make you a celebrity.
But let me ask you this. Someone like Mr. Beast, who has the most views on YouTube, several businesses, production, like 100 million people follow him. Is he a celebrity?
I've heard of him. I don't follow him. I can't really speak too much. I'm familiar with Kai Cenat.
Okay, someone
you know
like
what I mean?
that.
Or Speed.
Right. Do you think they're celebrities? Look at the amount of crowds. I saw a video of Speed overseas.
Yeah.
And it actually shocked me because I was like, that looks like an 80s edit. And that was crazy to me.
It's a good question. There's levels to it. Once again, I'm going to just go ahead and say that. For some people may view them as a celebrity considering, their popularity. Does popularity equal celebrity now?
I think so, because it's visibility and, like you just pointed out, influence. Because if influence is the main thing, right, it has to have changed what it means. These guys, think about when Kai went out in New York and what was he giving away? And the almost riot that happened, and the police were thinking of charging him. Think about the amount of people that mobilize and move based on them. The fact that he could do that at the drop of a moment and get that number of people to show up, by definition, what is celebrity if not something like that?
Point taken. But also with that being said, since there are levels to this, I am also not looking at Mr. Beast, Speed, Kai Cenat. I'm not looking at them for community or political philanthropy.
You aren't, but okay. Are the people that are watching them and locked in are. The White House just announced that they are making seats available for podcasters and influencers because they want to tap into the youth.
They did do that. Media is changing. Yep.
It is changing, and we know what TikTok has done for, the guy that's in office over there. When we come forward, we're going to get into more headlines and trending topics. All of this and more. You're locked in with KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ride with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, know it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe.
Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back into Jill Munroe, KBLA Talk 1580. So listen, the YouTube chat is bubbling. Lucas Frank says, celebrities have staying power. Streamers are the epitome of temporary. Do celebrities have staying power in 2025? They are competing with the streamers. Why do you think Kevin Hart has gone on to, he was, I know you don't know who Kai is, but look him up. He did a month-long, I think it was called Mafia something, where he streamed 24 hours a day, had various influencers come in and, interview. We saw SZA, Lizzo, Kevin, a bunch, Snoop, a bunch of others come through there. It was in a home, and they came through. When he streams in New York, it's in his house, and they come through. So they know where the views are. They're not going to mainstream media. If you look at the campaign that Will Smith did for his last movie, well, not the last movie, what he and Martin did for the last Bad Boys movie, it was mostly with influencers. That's who they interviewed with. That's who they talked to, the online personalities. That's who they gave their time to. The Rock as well. They see it. That's what they're targeting. And if they want to engage in a younger demo, that's what they have to do. Andy, you look like you were going to add something.
Shout out to Annie Mills. She kind of touched what I was about to touch on, right? Like, is Joe Rogan, he's a celebrity, right?
Right.
But, like, would you consider him a streamer, a podcaster, a YouTuber?
Joe is a podcaster, I guess, the OG podcaster.
They're all the same to me.
They
Podcasters,
they
streamers.
all fit kind of in the same boat.
Right.
But I think what the young guy, I can't remember his name, that Snoop took the picture in that had the Make America Great hat on, that we talked about last week at the crypto ball. That guy, white guy, young white guy, part of the reason why he was brought in the campaign was because he was popular on TikTok to help spread that. Part of the reason, some are whispering, besides Trump and his hero complex in saving TikTok, is because he did a little well on TikTok this go round.
Yeah.
And so he likes it. He likes that he can do shiny things there. And so I think that if you believe that celebrity is in the same place and not fragile, not as fragile as the streamers per se, you aren't paying attention as to what is happening.
Well, you know what, though? I'm going to go ahead and say that celebrity is fragile. And that goes for streamers as well, too.
Yeah.
Because it's
it goes
cancel
for both.
culture. It's cancel culture right now.
It's cancel culture. People get tired. There's a lot of output that is required. Think about live streaming 24 hours a day for a month. Not the kid, not me, not happening, right? Respect, but I don't have that in me. I don't believe, for a weekend, let alone an entire month.
Just 1 hour is good every day.
Right, 1 hour here on KBLA Talk 1580. Thank you for tapping in. Let me give you a couple of more entertainment updates before we get out of here for the day and make sure that you are tapped back in tomorrow. I mentioned Snoop Dogg. It's estimated that he lost approximately 500,000 followers since his Crypto Ball appearance. It should be noted, though, Snoop Dogg has 88 million people following him on Instagram. So maybe it's a slow trickle. Maybe it's a sign of what's further to come. But like he said, I love too much. I'm still black. So
real quick.
Yes.
For those who like unfollow folks on social media, just my opinion, just get off of social media, period. there's going to be things that you're just not going to like.
But triggers are a real thing. I mean, we've had this conversation, and I think that it is, and this might be cruel, and I'm not saying this to be mean. This goes, me too. Everybody has triggers. But I think it is our job to manage the triggers more so than the expectation of the world to adjust around me.
That's right, Jill.
But
internal work.
That's what I think. But, I'm not saying that you should be subjected to abuse in unfair environments, but sometimes I think we are being a little bit sensitive and we're focusing on the wrong things. One last update before we get out of here. Essence has announced their Black Women in Hollywood honorees for this year. They are honoring Cynthia Erivo, Tiana Taylor, Marla Gibbs, shout out to Marla Gibbs, and Ramala Muhammad. She is the creator and showrunner for Reasonable Doubt on Hulu, and it's going to be hosted by Aldous Hodge, taking place, I believe, the end of next month, early March. So make sure you are locked into that. Make sure you are back here tomorrow, 6 p.m. for more entertainment news and trending topics. I got you. Coming up next, the voice of reason, Zoe Williams. Thank you for tapping in, y'all.
Stay up, stay woke, stay blessed. You need a wake up, A cup, get your tits up in my makeup, face fake, get your bake up, fake blood, fake tough, up, put your six up, butter, princess, rates up, jigs up, put your tits up, get your dicks up, put your sticks up, they suck, that's tough, pay up, get your rates up, butter, princess. Money in my hands, I'm in Gucci in a bonnet, spinning bands. I got haters, I got fans, I got stands in the stands. Do they love her or they hate her? Either way, they spinning bands. I could really give a, I could really give a long as you know what's up. It's Dolce, Miss D.O.E. Don Dada. You know, test me. They like Dolce, you the Lulu, you a loose screw. She really giving in a voodoo. She swapped the old boy, say no. She munching on a while she watching Hulu. Wake up, A cup, get your tits up in my makeup, face fake, get your bake up, fake blood, fake tough, up, put your six up, butter, princess, rates up, jigs up, put your up, get your dicks up, put your sticks up, they suck, that's